So this is a video for notes 3, finding the slope of a line. So on number 1, we have a line and they gave us 3 points. To find the slope using rise over run, I'm going to go from this point and I'm going down 2. So that's -2. And then I'm going to the right. Whoops. I'm going to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope of this line is the rise is -2, the run is 5. So that's my answer. Then moving on to number 2, same situation. I'm going to start at my very left point, which is right here, and I move up 5 and to the right 5. So my slope is 5 over 5, but that actually does reduce, and it reduces to 1. Number 3, I can start at, if I always start at my very left point, I'll start here, and I go up 5, and to the right 6. So my rise over run would be 5 over 6. So that's my slope. Now, moving on to number 4, we have to use the slope formula because they didn't give us a picture. So we're going to use this formula. And so I'm going to label my points. So here is x1 and y1. And here is x2 and y2. So then following the formula, I have m equals, and so my y2 is 8 minus my y1 is 2 over x2 is 9 minus, and my x1 is 7. And then I simplify, so 8 minus the 2 gives me 6 over 9 minus 7 gives me 2. And then that once again reduces. 6 over 2 equals 3. So moving on to number 5, I'm going to use the slope formula again. So I have my x1, y1, and my x2, y2. Using my formula, m equals, y2 is -3, y1, so minus 0. And then on bottom, my x2 is 4 minus my x1 is 16. So I simplify, -3 minus 0 is -3. You can use your calculators. Positive 4 minus 16 gives us -12. And then using your calculator, -3 divided by -12 is a decimal, but then make sure you change it back to a fraction, and it will be 1 over 4, with both of the numbers being positive. Example number 5, you are given a picture of a graph, and you have to determine its slope. Well, there are no points given because the line just goes straight across. This is called, it's horizontal. And horizontal lines have a slope of 0. And then we're back to using the slope formula again. So I have x1, y1, x2, y2. Using the formula, my y2 is -9 minus, but then my y1 also has a minus, so I have to do parenthesis -6. My x1 is 7 minus x2 is 7 minus my x1 is 7. So when I simplify this, I've got -9 plus 6, because negative minus a negative is a plus. 7 minus 7. And then m equals -9 plus 6 is -3 over 7 minus 7 is 0. And we can never leave 0 on the bottom of a fraction. So this one, the slope is undefined. And then moving on to number 8. You are asked on number 8, and yours on Math Excel might ask you something a little different, but my 8 says to graph a line that has a slope of undefined. Well, we just found undefined as something over 0. That is actually a vertical line. So let me see if I can actually draw a line. So any vertical line. So this line has a slope of undefined. Then moving on to number 9, you are asked to, in your number 9, you may actually be asked to graph something like a slope of undefined or a negative slope or something, but there are examples here. Sketch a graph with a line with a slope of 0. Well, we just found that it's horizontal. And this is a horizontal line, and we always put arrows on the end. So that is a slope of 0. It is a horizontal line, just like this one. And then my last one is to graph a line with a negative slope. And if we look back up here, number 1 on my notes had a negative slope, and notice it starts up high on the left and goes down to the right. So we can draw any line on that grid that starts high and finishes low. And this is a negative slope.